Hey guys, I'm Rich Woods from NeoWin. Today we're unboxing the Amazon Fire TV. This is the second generation model. You'll see that right on top of it here I have the Fire TV stick. Now this is the first generation model. So when they came out with the second generation models, the big differentiators was that it added support for Alexa, which the first generation models were recently updated to include that support, so it's not really a differentiator anymore. The other new feature that they had is that it supports 4K. Now, like most people at the moment, I still don't have a 4K TV, so it really wasn't worth upgrading to the second generation model. But to me, it was worth upgrading from the stick to the full Fire TV. The Fire TV stick, the second generation model, it has a dual core processor where the Fire TV box has a quad core processor, 1 GB of RAM versus 2 GB of RAM. Wi-Fi N versus 802.11ac. So it's really, you're just getting a better experience. Now, as you could probably imagine, I have just about every option there is to stream. I have an Apple TV 3 and 4. I have an Xbox One, a Chromecast, a couple Rokus. It's really just everything you can imagine, right? So why am I still using the Fire TV? I didn't for a long time. Now, Fire OS is obviously a fork of Android, so this certainly allows you certain freedoms that you really don't have with an Xbox One or an Apple TV. So there are certain apps that I like to use that allow me to watch certain things, and we'll leave it at that. So let's get this thing open. And since I started using these apps, this Fire TV stick has become more and more important to me. But since there's a lot of there's lag, and I really just wanted a better experience, so I went with the Fire TV box, and I ended up with the second generation, obviously. Another huge design flaw with this one is that it plugs into the side of your TV like this, okay? And the USB port on most TVs, the USB port is underneath, right? So you have the HDMI port right here, USB right underneath. So the USB plugs in up here, and it actually has to like wrap around underneath. And with those small USB cables that come with it, it usually ends up being kind of an awkward endeavor. So I'm excited to actually have the box. All right, now, as you can see, it does come with a voice remote. The Amazon Fire TV stick originally did not come with that remote. They sell one with the remote now. I think it's $40 without the remote. It's a little more with it. But they always sold it separately for $29.99. All right, so you can see it comes in your Amazon box here. All right, and let's get it open. Here's the box itself, which it's actually a really nice looking box. When you see pictures of it, or when I saw pictures of it, I thought it looks kind of boring. You know, it's a regular square. It doesn't have your typical rounded corners that you see on most modern technology. All right, so let's just rip this off. All right, so it's a nice square box there. I think it's a pretty fine looking box, but then again, I like the design of the Lumia 950 and the 950 XL. We got some instructions in here, warranty information. All right, we know how to use these things, so I'm not going to go through the paperwork. Now, underneath, we have a power adapter. All right, standard Amazon power adapter. Obviously, it's not micro USB, so it's not something that you can use for your other devices. But then again, you're not going to be unplugging this thing, right? We're used to the Fire TV stick, which is something that you might end up taking with you to other places. And that was another reason I ended up carrying this thing around to my girlfriend's house, letting other people use it. I needed a second one. So here's the voice remote. Right, now this is what allows you to use Alexa. It's what allows you to search. This packaging is not so easy to get open, especially when there's a camera between you and the actual device. So there's also batteries included, which is something that you see a lot from Amazon products. It's awesome. So many products these days just don't come with batteries. And you know, I think most of us wouldn't mind paying a couple extra dollars to have batteries included. Okay, so we're going to open the battery like so. If we can get it. There we go. And you'll notice that this is a different design from earlier voice remotes. I have the original one I had here. The new one is bigger. Other than that, there's not much of a different design. They have the same buttons and all. One thing that I would have really liked to have seen from this in the packaging is that the Amazon Echo comes with a remote holder. It sticks to your wall, and the remote stays on there by magnet, which is actually really nice to not lose your remote. Also, we can see from the batteries here. One of my favorite features in electronics is when they let you put the batteries in the same way. Um, it's a little thing, but it really shows that the company just cares about convenience, which is something that if you're really into technology, you can really appreciate convenience like that. All right, so that's about it. We can see that the device itself has your standard HDMI port, Ethernet port, USB port, um, power, and micro SD. Wow, look at that. So yeah, that was another reason that I wanted to go with the box instead of the new stick is I wanted to get Ethernet. You know, I like to use wired Ethernet for my TV. It's a lot faster than using Wi-Fi all the time. You're streaming, so so we all know that feeling. You click on a show to watch, and it takes 5, maybe even 10 seconds to load, and then it's grainy at first, and then it starts to work better. When you use a wired connection, it really just works so much faster, and that's how I prefer to do it. Anyway, guys, that's it. I'll have more on the Fire TV, comparing it to other devices that I use and such as time goes on. Guys, I'm Rich Woods from NeoWin, and have a great night.